was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
And welcome to another video. Now this one is an invitation from a friend of mine. He's been booked onto a track day, so he's asked me to come along, to come with him, to possibly have a drive, do some passenger runs, because we've been friends for donkey's years. This is one of his cool builds. We're at Three Sisters Raceway, which is very local to me. It's a small go-kart track, but still a nice place to do some testing. I did testing in the twin engine many years ago, just as a shakedown, because it's just big enough to get a bit of speed, have a bit of fun. We're just waiting for Obby to turn up. As soon as he turns up, we'll get it out at the back of the van. Yes, I did say get it out of the back of the van, and let's see how the day cracks on. Where it is, the Fiat Cinquecento with a ZX9R motorbike engine. So let's dive in, let's have a quick look. So obviously this started life as a Fiat Cinquecento. I've got already a small, very light car as it is, and it has been converted, as you'll see when we open the bonnet, with a ZX9, which is out of I think a 1999 bike. It makes around 130 to 140 horsepower. In the car, complete as it sits there with fuel, it weighs 630 kilograms. So for a track car to be so light, rev to the moon, this thing is going to be quite interesting on the track. I've had the pleasure to be able to sign on as a driver to experience it for myself. So thank you, Obby, for the experience.
It was at this moment that he knew. He f***ed up.
As I've said, ZX9R converted. This is still front wheel drive. A lot of bike engine cars are rear engine cars. It does make it a little bit more simpler. So you basically have to make a full kind of custom subframe, which is obviously what you can see along here and all over, to mount the engine, and then it runs a sprocket and chain with a diff through two bearings to shafts. So it's still chain driven, still front wheel drive, and like I say, it does make the thing quite simple to install. It's got little added extras like this little bottle here is to oil the chain, because obviously an Achilles heel with bike engine cars is always the chain drive, because the chains stretch, they can get damaged. But like this one's had a brand new one for today, and that gets him two normal track days out of it. On big wide slicks all round, it's on Wilwood 4 pots. This thing has been been designed to go around a track as light and as fast as possible. And I will say, I've been friends with Obby for many, many years. He's not the type of person to go out and spend thousands of pounds on parts. He likes to construct everything himself. So if he can find a part of some normal vehicle which he can adapt to make fit, he will do. So even stuff like the adjustable top mounts, made them all himself. You know, there's little things like that throughout the car which are a really nice twist on this build that makes it work, be kind of reliable on the track, make it fun and make it cost effective.
Fuck.
And again, going back to, you know, rear suspension setups, he's made his own little brace. I don't know if they're original Seicento shocker areas, and I would say that what he's done is he's made mounting points on the rear axle and then bought like an off-the-shelf bike suspension, I'm guessing, and technically made it all fit and work. Obviously hydraulic handbrake, brake bias for adjustment, the original gear stick, but it does work on push and pull like a sequential. All the gauges and switches, the ZX9R dash, and he did tell me he did at one point have it on paddles, but he's still refining it to make it work. He is just swapped over to these lightweight seats to save a couple of kilograms in weight. This thing has been totally designed to shed weight and go fast, which, to be fair, you can tell this thing wants to go. And what has been interesting about the car is when you're not used to driving a bike engine car, you have to get used to being able to rev the engine to like 12, 13, 14,000 RPM, because you hear the engine at like 7 or 8,000 and you think, because you're not used to a normal 4-cylinder, you need to change. But that's not in the power band, and that's literally ready to keep on revving as it's just coming on power. We've just been out for the first few laps, and what can I say? That little car is so much fun to drive. I'm not really a track person, but I can see why it's getting so addictive and why people love it so much, because just them 15 minutes, it was epically fun. I've never driven a track car with slicks, so the first couple of laps you could literally feel no grip whatsoever. You could feel the back end skating around. Until we got some heat in them tyres, it was all over the place. But as soon as you got heat, you could keep in the power band above 9,000 RPM, near enough the full track. And what is super good about the gearing on this car, Three Sisters is technically a go-karting circuit, so it's a very small circuit. So with the gearing on the bike engine, you're literally 90% going around in second gear, and it's only on the back straight you get into third. So you can very much concentrate on your steering inputs and what's going on the track, rather than concentrating on what gear you're in. I think we're going to call it a day. I've been out and had a go in the damp track, and let's just say the slicks, they don't like water, which obviously is common sense, but we thought we'd have a go. I got to one of the bottom corners, span out, with no feel at all on the steering, no feel at all in the car. The back end stepping to correct it, it was nothing. So technically, with the weather looking as bad as it is, there is no point in staying and carrying on. It has changed my opinion on bike engine cars quite significantly, because, you know, a smaller track with the bike engine car well geared seems to go really well. And to be fair, when Obby was piloting the car, there was not a car which kept up with him. He was overtaking everyone. So it does show that something like that, when it's light, on a small track, geared right, can work really, really well. We're going to sign this one off. We will be back to drive this again. We will be out of Obby again to have some fun. So keep watching, and I'll see you on the next video.